On the following video, we're going to establish a connection between our PC and our Delta DVP PLC. So we're going to be using port RS485. The protocol is going to be Modbus RTU, and on our PC, we're going to be using Visual Studio and Advanced HMI to establish the communication. So first of all, you need to download Visual Studio. So if you go to the Microsoft official website, search for Visual Studio Community Edition. I'm using right now the 2017 version. So you can download it for free. So once you have it installed, then to establish the connection, you're going to use the advanced HMI drivers. So you can just go to Google, search for advanced HMI, and on the official website, they're going to send you to a website like this where you can download the software. So once you downloaded the advanced HMI, you're going to end up having something like this. So there's going to be you're going to download a zip file. So you unzip that file to a folder on your computer, and make sure you unzip it. And then you're going to open this file, Advanced HMI bit35. You just go and click and double click, and there's going to be some screens. So you just go and click OK several times. Perfect. Then OK. And you're going to end up having a screen like this. So go to the main form and double click it. There you go. So now you have it. Advanced HMI. You have it all set up. Now, I mean, we're just going to start setting up advanced HMI. Okay. So now let's configure our PLC. So we go to ISP sub, and this is on our PLC. This is part of our program, and this part of the program is to configure the RS485 port. So first, M1002. That's this contactor. This contact, it only gets activated at the first scan of your PLC, and that will set up the parameters for your port RS485 on your PLC. And let's go through. So D1120, that's the communication protocol. So this value is going to take care of what's the bound rate, if it is going to be even parity or non-parity, or also the data bit and the stop bit. So there's a chart on your manual that can help you how to establish the right number for the different types of bound rate that you want to configure. But for this example, I'll be using this number. So 16 pound, that means that's a hexadecimal value, and then 0087. So if you go to this chart, you're going to find out that this 0087 in hexadecimal, that's gonna be for in the data bit. The data bit is is 8. So 8 is the data bit. The parity it's even. The stop bit is 1, and the bound rate is 9600. So that's this parameter. So those are the parameters that I'll be using. Then this is the timeout. So that's for RS485. This is the communication timeout. So it's 100 milliseconds. D1121, that's the PLC address. That's the address that you want to assign to your PLC. So for my PLC, I want to assign address number 1. So I just move 1 to the 1121. Then is the retain the communication value. You just click on, you just set M1120. That's the retaining the communication settings. If the communication settings change on the PLC, by setting this value, you're going to retain those original communication settings that you have. Then that's the M1143. That's to configure your PLC either to work with ASCII or RTU. So we need to use RTU because the HMI drivers only works with Modbus at RTU, and right now I don't think it works with Modbus ASCII. So you need to set M1143. You just need to set that value on. So by setting that value on, we're going to work with our Modbus RTU. So make sure that you have that this memory set. Okay. So that's all that you need to do in order to configure your PLC. The rest of the program is just for a different program that I'm running right now on this PLC. Very good. So now we have our PLC set up. So now let me show you how I did the connections, the physical connections. So let me go to my camera. Okay, so this is my PLC. I'm going to disconnect this PLC. I'm going to disconnect my PC from my PLC, and I'm going to connect my HMI. Good. So I connected my HMI, which goes. This is my HMI, and what I'm going to do is change some of the parameters from my HMI. I'm going to change a couple of parameters of my PLC, I'm going to change the parameters of my PLC with my HMI, and I'm going to be monitor while the changes on my PC using advanced HMI and Visual Studio. Now, as once again, I'm using RS485, and this is the converter that I'm using. So it's a USB to RS485 port, and when I connect this converter, the communication port that was created was COM number 8. So we need to remember that this is the COM number 8. So sometimes your converter may create a different port. So if you don't know the port number that is being created, you can go to Device Manager, and on Device Manager under ports, you can see the communication port created. In my case, is COM number 8. Very good. So right now, I think that you need to be aware of is that by connecting this converter, this works as a master. So if there's another master on the system, there are going to be some conflicts. So for that, you can think as this as your master. So what I did just right now, I just connected the converter and my PLC, only that, nothing else. Okay, so I disconnected anything else. So as long as there's no master on the Modbus. Okay, so remember, there's only one master on your Modbus structure. Okay, so that's the connection. Okay, so now let's return to advanced HMI. Okay, so the next step is to set properties of communication components. Okay, so let's set okay. So first add a driver component from the toolbox. Okay, so we need to add a driver. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, sorry. We need to build the project. So by that, it says that you click on Control, Shift, and the letter B. That creates the project. Okay. Now is to add a driver component from the toolbox. So which driver are you going to use? So remember, we're going to use Modbus RTU. So this is the driver. There's some others like Ethernet and also serial DF1, and there's a couple of others. So, but for now, we're going to use Modbus RTU. So we double click it, and this is the driver that is being created. And then we need to configure this driver. So the bound rate, we set it up as 9600. The data bit, it's 8. The parity, it's even. The port name is the port number 8. And the station address is station address 1. So the name of this driver, we're going to change it. The name doesn't matter, but I'm going to change it to COM8. Modbus RTU COM8. But you can use any name that you like. Okay? So now it's, the driver is configured. Now the next step is to add a visual control. Okay, so these are the different components that you can use. For instance, let's add a digital panel meter. So just click it, grab it, and then you can resize it. And just click it, and then you need to assign a communication component, the driver, which is this one, the one that we just created. And also you need to assign the PLC address value. So this is the address of the device or contactor or counter or timer that you want to use. So this address value is the Modbus address. So you're not going to use like D0 or T0 or T1. I mean, you cannot use that. You need to use the Modbus address. So to find out what's the address, the Modbus address, on your Delta PLC manual, under the table 4.4 titled PLC device addresses, you're going to find the equivalent Modbus address for the SD devices, the M and C's for timers, and the D devices. So for instance, if you want to find out the value of D0, then you're going to use this value, the 404097. If you want D1, then you're going to go to 404098. For the 2, the 0 is going to be 404099, and consequently you can figure out which are the different Modbus address, depending on which address you want to monitor or edit. Okay, so this may get a little bit confused if you want to figure out like for instance D80, and you have to get this number, add 80, and that will be your Modbus address. And it may get a little bit confusing because either you add, it's quite difficult. So in order to simplify that, what I did was I created this table that includes all of the different devices on your PLC, in conjunction with the Modbus address and the PLC address. And for instance, let's go click Find, and let's figure out D0. Match entire cell contents. Click Find. Okay, D0. This is the Modbus address. So just copy. Go to advanced to Visual Basic, Visual Studio, and the PLC address value is going to be this one. Okay, so that's the value. Now let's do another. Let's do like an indicator. So indicator. Okay, this one, the annunciator. So just click, drag, and for this, let's say whenever you click X20 on the input 20. So let's figure out what is the Modbus address. So let's find for M20. For M20, oh no, sorry, X20. Okay. This is the Modbus address. So we're going to use the 6-digit address. Initiator, and the PLC address value is going to be this one. Very good. And you can use the same thing for different components. For instance, there's also like a gauge. Let me draw a gauge, and we're going to use the D0. So D0, let me copy this. But you can use this spreadsheet to find the appropriate Modbus address for different kinds of devices. Okay, so we have all set up. Then we're going to just go to Run. So just click Start, or you can press F5, and the application is going to start. Okay. So let me turn on my camera. Okay. And all right. There you go. So D0 on my HMI, I'm going to change the value of D0 to 120. Click Enter. There you go, 120. So we can change it back to 20 and 20. Okay. So also whenever I click X20 or annunciator on our HMI, advanced HMI screen, is going to change. So that's how you create the communication from your PLC to your PC. And also, if you know how to program using Visual Basic, Visual Basic, and it's really great software, really flexible. You can create a lot of different applications with it, and then you can create your own custom screens and with different features. So I mean, there's a lot of things that you can use with this kind of setup. So in future videos, I may show you how to use the different components. But for now, this is how you do the setup, and that should be all for today. Thank you so much for watching. So once again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do so. If you know someone that can benefit from this kind of a video, you can forward this the link for this video to that person, so that they can also benefit from them. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next time.